Hawaii, where fire meets paradise, where forces that shape the earth are still shaping it today. This is no ordinary tropical destination. This is Earth's greatest masterpiece, still being painted. Across the vast Pacific Ocean, volcanic fires have been writing Earth's most impossible autobiography. For 70 million years, forces deep beneath the seafloor have crafted islands that challenge everything we thought we knew about paradise itself. These Hawaiian islands exist as Earth's most isolated masterpiece, separated by thousands of miles from any continent. Here, geological miracles that normally take millennia unfold every single day. Volcanoes birth new continents. Ancient starfire crystallizes into beaches of impossible colors. Mountains rise high enough to capture snow beneath tropical stars. What emerges from this isolation transcends geology. It transcends imagination. The Hawaiian archipelago reveals what becomes possible when Earth is given complete freedom to dream. Plants that exist nowhere else in the universe. Birds that chose paradise over flight. Humans who developed navigation techniques that put modern GPS to shame. 17 locations across these miraculous islands demonstrate nature's capacity for the impossible when left undisturbed. From volcanoes that manufacture new worlds faster than you can measure, to beaches where minerals older than life itself create shores of liquid emerald. From royal palaces that out-innovated the future to ancient legal systems that achieved what modern civilization still struggles toward. Each wonder represents a chapter in an ongoing story about what becomes possible when geological violence learns to create beauty. When isolation breeds innovation, when paradise refuses to remain static. Welcome back to another Cultreverse exclusive. On Hawaii's Big Island, Kilauea volcano demonstrates planetary construction at its most elemental. This single geological feature produces enough new land each day to build 40 average homes, yet chooses instead to craft pristine wilderness that will nurture life for millennia to come. The process unfolds with mechanical precision. Every minute and 3 seconds, enough molten material emerges to fill a standard living room. Every hour, approximately 1 acre of new continent solidifies from liquid rock. Every year, an area equivalent to 42 football fields joins the Hawaiian archipelago. Native Hawaiian traditions recognize this as the domain of Pele, goddess of volcanic fires. Scientific observation confirms what cultural knowledge has long understood. Kilauea functions as Earth's most reliable creator, transforming destruction into landscapes of extraordinary beauty and biological potential. When molten rock encounters Pacific waters, The collision generates temperatures exceeding 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit. Steam plumes rise hundreds of feet as new land forms through processes that compress geological time into observable moments. Each square yard of new coastline represents Earth's capacity to reinvent itself continuously. The black rock, cooling beneath trade winds, will eventually support rainforests rivaling any on Earth. Seeds carried by ocean currents and migrating birds will find purchase in volcanic soil rich with minerals from Earth's deep interior. From this forge, where continents begin their existence, our journey follows the path of ancient lava flows to shores where Earth's deep fires deposited treasures from its mineral heart. Papakolea Beach exists because volcanic processes occasionally transport passengers from extraordinary depths. Olivine crystals, formed in conditions existing 200 miles beneath the surface, traveled upward through lava flows over 50,000 years ago to create shores that shimmer like scattered emeralds. The formation of green sand beaches requires precise confluence of geological circumstances. Lava must contain specific concentrations of olivine minerals. Cooling rates must proceed at exact temperatures to preserve crystal structure. Ocean waves must possess sufficient energy to separate olivine from surrounding volcanic rock, while lacking the power to grind these relatively soft minerals into powder. Only 4 locations on Earth satisfy these demanding conditions. Papakolea represents the most accessible and visually striking example of this rare geological phenomenon. The crystals beneath footsteps represent deep time made tangible. Each grain witnessed Earth's formation, survived the planet's most violent geological episodes, and now rests where children unknowingly construct temporary architecture from materials older than complex life itself. Sunlight, passing through these translucent minerals, creates colors ranging from pale jade to deep forest green. The intensity varies with crystal size, mineral purity, and the angle of illumination. Natural stained glass windows scattered across a beach that exists nowhere else in the Pacific. From these ancient crystals that capture light, like scattered gemstones, we discover shores where ongoing volcanic activity continues painting coastlines in colors impossible to imagine. Punalu'u Beach demonstrates how geological violence transforms into landscapes of unexpected serenity. 5 centuries ago, this shoreline did not exist. Every grain of obsidian sand represents a moment when molten lava, flowing at temperatures sufficient to melt copper, encountered Pacific waters moving at 60 miles per hour. The collision generates explosions that shatter cooling lava into fragments smaller than rice grains. Ocean currents and wave action gradually polish these volcanic glass particles into sand so fine it feels like silk, despite its violent origins. The resulting beaches absorb solar energy with remarkable efficiency, creating thermal conditions that attract marine life seeking optimal nesting environments. Hawaiian green sea turtles, known locally as honu, demonstrate sophisticated understanding of thermal physics. These ancient mariners select Punalu'u for nesting sites because black sand absorbs and retains heat approximately 40% more effectively than conventional beaches composed of coral or shell fragments. Individual turtles weighing 300 pounds emerge from turquoise waters onto beaches younger than their own lifespans. These encounters represent meetings between geological innovation and evolutionary stability, ancient creatures utilizing landscapes that continue forming through processes unchanged since Earth's youth. The thermal properties that attract nesting turtles also support unique plant communities. Native Hawaiian beech, morning glory, beach pea, and naupaka thrive in the elevated soil temperatures created by heat-absorbing volcanic sand. These botanical communities exist nowhere else in the Pacific, having evolved specifically to exploit the unusual conditions created by lava-ocean interactions. From these shores, where ongoing creation continues through violent beauty, our path leads upward to elevations where tropical islands achieve the seemingly impossible. At Haleakala's summit, dawn arrives, not as gradual illumination, but as planetary revelation. From an elevation of 10,023 feet, sunrise becomes a demonstration of Earth's rotation made visible, showing clearly how our planet turns toward its star, rather than how the sun climbs above our horizon. The crater spreads below like an alien amphitheater carved from colored stone. This depression, measuring 21 miles in circumference and over 3,000 feet in depth, formed not through explosive eruption, but through 2 million years of trade wind erosion. Atmospheric currents loaded with moisture gradually dissolved and carried away solid volcano, grain by grain, until this vast basin remained. Hawaiian legends describe Haleakala as the House of the Sun, where the demigod Maui lassoed the sun with ropes made from his grandmother's hair, forcing it to travel more slowly across Hawaiian skies. Standing at this elevation during sunrise, the story acquires scientific resonance. Atmospheric clarity allows observation of celestial mechanics invisible from sea level. As golden light floods the crater, endemic silver sword plants begin their daily photosynthetic cycle. These extraordinary succulents grow exclusively at this elevation, requiring precisely the combination of intense solar radiation, low atmospheric pressure, and volcanic soil chemistry found nowhere else on Earth. individual plants live for decades before producing a single flowering spike, reaching 6 feet in height, then dying in silver magnificence. The summit experiences over 300 clear nights annually, conditions that attract professional astronomers from around the world. The combination of elevation, atmospheric stability, and minimal light pollution creates observing conditions rivaling those available from orbital platforms. From this sacred summit, where tropical islands intercept cosmic phenomena, we descend towards sea level to discover how water creates daily miracles through the precise application of physical principles. Rainbow Falls operates as a natural laboratory, demonstrating the principles of optical physics with scientific reliability. Each morning at approximately 10 o'clock, when solar elevation reaches exactly 42 degrees above the horizon, falling water creates atmospheric conditions that separate white light into its component wavelengths with the precision of manufactured prisms. The Wailuku River carries approximately 27,000 gallons per minute over lava flows solidified 25,000 years ago during Mauna Loa's explosive period. The 80-foot drop creates water droplets measuring between 0.5 and 2.0 millimeters in diameter, the optimal size range for rainbow formation through light refraction and internal reflection. Hawaiian cultural traditions recognize this phenomenon through the presence of Anuinu, the rainbow goddess who dances in the mist each morning. Scientific observation confirms what cultural knowledge celebrates. Rainbow Falls functions as one of the world's most reliable natural optical displays, producing visible spectra on approximately 320 days per year. The mist generated by falling water contains elevated concentrations of negative ions, atmospheric particles that research suggests may influence human respiratory function and psychological well-being. Breathing this mist provides measurable physiological effects, explaining the sense of clarity and energy that visitors frequently report experiencing. The pool below supports endemic Hawaiian shrimp species found nowhere else in the Pacific. These freshwater invertebrates evolved in isolation, developing characteristics distinct from their oceanic ancestors. Their presence indicates water quality sufficient to support specialized aquatic ecosystems. From these waters, where light performs daily demonstrations of physical law, we journey to shores that exported Hawaiian cultural innovations to every continent on Earth. Waikiki Beach represents one of humanity's most successful cultural exports. From these engineered shores, composed of sand, transported from California and Molokai in the 1920s. Hawaiian innovations in ocean wave utilization spread worldwide, fundamentally altering how coastal civilizations interact with marine environments. For over 1,000 years, Hawaiian alii, royalty, developed sophisticated techniques for reading and riding ocean waves in these protected waters. Chiefs weighing over 300 pounds demonstrated fluid movement on 16-foot wooden boards carved from willy-willy trees, achieving harmony with water that appeared supernatural to observers from other cultures. Duke Kahanamoku, learning traditional Hawaiian wave riding techniques in these waters during the 1890s, introduced surf culture to California, Australia, and other Pacific regions during the early 20th century. His demonstrations transformed surfing from ancient Hawaiian spiritual practice into global recreational and competitive activity. Modern surfers continue reading wave patterns exactly as their Hawaiian predecessors did, interpreting energy that originates in Pacific storm systems thousands of miles distant. These swells travel at approximately 35 miles per hour, focusing their power through underwater topography into rideable waves that maintain consistent form year-round. The contrast between Waikiki's urban skyline and unchanged wave patterns illustrates Hawaii's ongoing negotiation between development and natural processes. 6 million annual visitors experience waves that have maintained identical characteristics for millennia, despite substantial modifications to the surrounding landscape. From these shores that taught the world to dance with ocean waves, we dive into protected waters where geological accident created one of Earth's most accessible marine sanctuaries. Hanauma Bay exists because of geological catastrophe that occurred approximately 32,000 years ago, when the southeastern wall of a volcanic crater collapsed into the Pacific Ocean. Seawater flooded the resulting basin, creating conditions that now support over 400 species of tropical fish in an enclosed environment ideally suited for human observation. The bay's horseshoe configuration creates natural protection from ocean swells while maintaining sufficient water circulation to support thriving coral ecosystems. Wave energy from the open Pacific dissipates against outer reef barriers, producing gentle currents ideal for both marine life and snorkeling activities. Underwater visibility frequently exceeds 100 feet, allowing observation of marine communities that typically require scuba diving to access. Yellow tangs, Moorish idols, and Hawaiian green sea turtles move through coral gardens with behaviors largely unmodified by human presence, providing insights into marine ecosystem function. The coral formations visible throughout the bay represent approximately 7,000 years of continuous growth. Individual coral heads expand outward at rates of 1 inch annually, meaning the massive structures surrounding snorkelers began developing when human civilizations first discovered agriculture. Marine research conducted at Hanauma Bay contributes to understanding of coral reef resilience, fish population dynamics, and the effects of human interaction on marine ecosystems. The bay serves as a natural laboratory where millions of annual visitors participate unknowingly in one of the world's largest marine observation studies. From these protected waters, where accident created perfect conditions for marine life, we discover shores where mathematical precision achieved paradise through purely natural processes. Lanikai Beach demonstrates how geological processes can achieve mathematical precision through purely natural means. 1 mile of coral sand, ground to uniform consistency by exactly 1,000 years of wave action, creates a shoreline that appears designed rather than naturally formed. The offshore coral reef system functions as a natural wave energy dissipator, engineered by biological processes to create water conditions approaching perfect stillness. Wave heights rarely exceed 6 inches, while water temperatures remain between 74 and 78 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year. The sand composition consists entirely of coral fragments and shell particles, ground by wave action into pieces measuring between 0.2 and 0.8 millimeters in diameter. This narrow size range creates the distinctive texture and brilliant white coloration that characterizes Lanikai Beach, while providing optimal light reflection that enhances underwater visibility. Ocean currents approaching Lanikai Beach mix warm surface water from shallow coral lagoons with cooler upwelling from depths exceeding 1,000 feet. This temperature gradient creates convection patterns that maintain water clarity while supporting both tropical and temperate marine species in the same location. Kayaking to the Mokulua Islands requires approximately 20 minutes of paddling through water calm enough for beginners. The islands support nesting colonies of red-footed boobies, frigate birds, and wedge-tailed shearwaters, seabirds that have maintained traditional nesting sites despite centuries of environmental change. From these shores where natural processes achieved geometric perfection, we journey to coastlines where geological forces created landscapes that challenge physical possibility. Along Kauai's northwestern shore, Na Pali Coast demonstrates how persistent erosion can carve vertical landscapes that appear to violate gravitational principles. 17 miles of knife-edge ridges rise 4,000 feet directly from sea level, creating topography so dramatic it seems architecturally impossible. These fluted formations result from 5 million years of erosion applied to the remnants of Kauai's original shield volcano. Mount Waialil, receiving over 400 inches of annual rainfall, channels water through valleys that become progressively narrower as erosive forces carve deeper into volcanic rock. The geological term fluted inadequately describes ridges so sharp that helicopter pilots navigate between walls separated by distances measurable in yards rather than miles. Some valleys maintain width-to-depth ratios that approach mathematical limits for structural stability in volcanic rock. Ancient Hawaiian populations somehow established agricultural communities on cliff faces where mountain goats would struggle to survive. Archaeological evidence reveals irrigation systems, residential terraces, and burial sites constructed on ledges accessible only through climbing techniques that remain largely unknown to contemporary researchers. Waterfalls, plunging over 3,000 feet in single drops, create their own weather systems, generating mist that supports plant communities found nowhere else in the Pacific. Some of these cascades evaporate completely before reaching sea level, existing only as temporary phenomena visible during peak rainfall periods. From these impossible cliffs, where ancient Hawaiians achieved the seemingly impossible, we journey inland to where geological violence painted landscapes in colors that rival human artistry. Waimea Canyon exposes the internal structure of a collapsed volcano in colors so vivid they appear artificially enhanced. This 14-mile chasm, reaching depths exceeding 3,600 feet, formed when Kauai's massive shield volcano partially collapsed 4 million years ago, creating a geological cross-section that reveals Hawaii's violent constructive history. Unlike mainland canyons carved gradually by river systems, Waimea Canyon began with catastrophic structural failure that fractured solid volcanic rock like broken eggshell. The Waimea River has spent subsequent millennia carving deeper into this initial crack, exposing volcanic layers deposited over millions of years. The canyon walls display Hawaiian volcanic history in chronological order. Red layers indicate iron-rich lava flows from explosive eruptions. Yellow bands show areas where groundwater leached minerals from cooling volcanic rock. Green strata contain olivine crystals, transported from Earth's upper mantle during particularly violent eruptions. Endemic Hawaiian plants survive in canyon locations inaccessible to introduced species that have displaced native vegetation elsewhere in the islands. Hawaiian tree ferns, ohia, lehua, and koa trees maintain populations that represent genetic links to pre-human Hawaiian ecosystems. The Hawaiian hoary bat, Hawaii's only native land mammal, roosts in ohia trees growing on canyon ledges that provide protection from introduced predators. These bats represent evolutionary adaptation to island environments where typical mammalian predator-prey relationships never developed. From this colorful testament to volcanic destruction and reconstruction, we ascend to Hawaii's most sacred summit, where tropical islands achieve conditions normally associated with Arctic environments. Mauna Kea, achieves statistical superlatives that challenge conventional understanding of mountain formation. Rising 33,500 feet from the Pacific Ocean floor to its snow-covered summit, this volcanic mountain exceeds Mount Everest's height when measured from base to peak, while supporting snow accumulation at tropical latitudes. The summit experiences Arctic conditions year-round, despite its location just 20 degrees north of the equator. Snow falls regularly above 12,000 feet elevation, creating a phenomenon that ancient Hawaiians recognized by naming this peak Mauna Kea. Atmospheric conditions at Mauna Kea's summit rival those available from orbital platforms. The mountain rises above 40% of Earth's atmosphere and 90% of atmospheric water vapor, creating observing conditions that attract astronomical research institutions from around the world. The summit experiences over 325 clear nights annually. With atmospheric stability that eliminates the twinkling effect that interferes with astronomical observation at sea level. Telescopes here have discovered exoplanets, observed galaxies at the edge of the visible universe, and detected gravitational waves predicted by Einstein's relativity theories. Hawaiian cultural traditions consider Mauna Kea so sacred that only the highest-ranking ali'i could ascend to its summit. This spiritual reverence recognizes what modern science confirms. The mountain represents a boundary between terrestrial and cosmic environments. From this sacred summit, where tropical islands intercept cosmic phenomena, we descend to discover how human ingenuity once created technological marvels that amaze the contemporary world. Iolani Palace in downtown Honolulu contained technological innovations that surpassed contemporary American standards when completed in 1882. Electric lighting preceded the White House installation by 4 years. Indoor telephone systems operated decades before most American homes possessed basic plumbing. Flush toilets and hot running water amazed visiting dignitaries from nations that considered Hawaii primitive. King Kalakaua commissioned this palace specifically to demonstrate Hawaiian technological sophistication to world leaders who questioned the island's readiness for modern governance. The building incorporated innovations from American, European, and Asian sources, creating a technological synthesis that exceeded contemporary standards anywhere in the Pacific. The palace featured Hawaii's first electric light system, installed by the Hawaiian Electric Company using Edison's direct current technology. Indoor telephones connected rooms within the palace and linked to Honolulu's fire department, advanced communications that most American cities lacked until the 1890s. Queen Liliuokalani composed music in the palace's second-floor rooms, including Aloha Oe, which became one of the world's most recognized Hawaiian songs. Her compositions expressed cultural grace under political pressure that culminated in the Hawaiian kingdom's overthrow in 1893. The throne room witnessed both royal ceremonies and the end of Hawaiian independence. American businessmen orchestrated Queen Liliuokalani's overthrow in this chamber, imprisoning her in palace rooms for 8 months, while her sovereign nation disappeared through legal manipulations. From this symbol of Hawaiian technological achievement and political tragedy, we journey to places where ancient legal systems created innovations in justice that preceded modern human rights concepts by centuries. Pu'uhonua, o Hōnaunau, on the Big Island's Kona coast, represents one of human history's most progressive legal innovations. This sanctuary system provided refuge and redemption for lawbreakers in a society where most violations of sacred kapu laws required death penalties, creating a justice framework that prioritized rehabilitation over retribution. The Great Wall of Hōnaunau, constructed without mortar from lava rocks weighing up to 5,000 pounds each, required decades of engineering expertise to complete. This 1,000-foot barrier created a physical boundary between areas governed by different legal principles: royal justice versus sanctuary mercy. Hawaiian kapu law maintained social order through strict behavioral codes enforced by death penalties. However, anyone reaching Pu'uhonua boundaries received complete legal absolution after undergoing purification ceremonies conducted by kahuna priests. This system recognized that societies strengthen through opportunities for redemption rather than elimination of offenders. The sanctuary protected not only individual lawbreakers, but entire communities during warfare. Royal fish ponds within sanctuary boundaries sustained thousands of people during military conflicts, demonstrating how legal sanctuary concepts extended to economic and social protection. Archaeological evidence reveals that Pu'uhonua sites throughout Hawaii maintain sophisticated support systems, including agriculture, fresh water sources, and religious facilities. These sanctuaries functioned as complete communities rather than simple refuge areas, enabling long-term rehabilitation rather than temporary shelter. From this place, where ancient legal wisdom created revolutionary approaches to justice, we journey to shores where modern humans continue testing the boundaries between courage and foolhardiness. Seven miles of Oahu's North Shore create the world's most challenging arena for human interaction with ocean forces. During winter months, Pacific storms generate energy waves that travel 3,000 miles to break in formations reaching 50 feet in height. Liquid mountains moving at speeds that can crush human bodies without effort. Pipeline represents the intersection of geological precision and hydrodynamic perfection. waves break over sharp coral reef formations in water depths measuring only 3 feet, creating tube-shaped cavities that skilled surfers navigate like liquid architecture. The margin between success and catastrophic injury measures in inches rather than feet. Professional surfers dedicate decades to developing the precise timing, balance, and reflexes required to survive pipeline conditions. They study wave patterns with meteorological precision, memorize reef topography like ship captains, and maintain physical conditioning that enables split-second decisions under extreme pressure. Winter swells originate in Aleutian storm systems 3,000 miles distant. These energy waves travel the Pacific Ocean at 35 miles per hour. Their power focused by underwater mountain ranges into geometrically perfect formations that offer 10-second rides through liquid tunnels. International surf competitions at Pipeline attract the world's most accomplished wave riders. They come to test themselves against natural forces that represent the ultimate expression of ocean power channeled through geological precision into rideable form. From these liquid cathedrals, where humans learn to dance with oceanic power, we journey inland to discover forests where immigrant plants learn to create music from Hawaiian trade winds. Along Maui's road to Hana, bamboo forests demonstrate how immigrant species can integrate into Hawaiian ecosystems while creating entirely new sensory experiences. These Asian grasses, introduced by Chinese laborers during the 19th century, have evolved into natural concert halls where trade winds generate acoustic performances impossible to replicate artificially. Individual bamboo stalks function as wind instruments with acoustic properties determined by their diameter, height, and hollow interior volume. Thick specimens produce deep percussion when they contact each other. Thin shoots generate higher-pitched tones. Leaves create rustling sounds that resemble gentle rainfall on forest floors. Each bamboo grove develops unique acoustic signatures based on plant density, species variety, and wind exposure patterns. The music changes throughout the day as thermal heating and cooling alter bamboo flexibility, creating tonal variations that no two concerts replicate exactly. The road to Hana itself represents a journey through 7 distinct climate zones, compressed into 64 miles of coastal highway. The bamboo forest offers one movement in this geographic symphony that includes desert, rainforest, coastal, and alpine environments within a single afternoon's drive. Photographers seek bamboo forests for the light filtering effects created by dense overhead canopies. Sunlight passing through bamboo leaves creates natural stained glass windows that change color and intensity throughout the day. Musicians record these natural compositions for incorporation into contemporary works. From these musical forests, where immigrant plants learned to sing with Hawaiian winds. We climbed to witness the navigation landmark that enabled humanity's greatest maritime achievement. Diamond Head Crater served for over 1,000 years as the crucial final landmark for Polynesian navigators, completing the most challenging ocean voyage in human history. This 760-foot volcanic formation provided the visual confirmation that 2,400 miles of open Pacific navigation had succeeded in reaching Hawaiian shores. British sailors named this formation Diamond Head in 1825 after mistaking calcite crystals for gemstones, but Hawaiians called it Le'ahi, brow of the yellowfin tuna, recognizing its distinctive profile as seen from offshore distances where navigation decisions determined survival or death. Polynesian master navigators used Diamond Head as their final checkpoint when sailing from Tahiti to Hawaii, a journey requiring celestial navigation by star positions, wave pattern reading for directional guidance, and bird flight observation for land proximity indication. Sighting this crater confirmed successful completion of the Pacific's most demanding voyage. The crater formed approximately 300,000 years ago during a single explosive eruption lasting only days. Volcanic gases created the perfectly circular depression that became one of the Pacific's most recognizable landmarks, visible to ancient navigators who possessed no instruments except knowledge accumulated through generations of oceanic voyaging. Today's hiking trail follows military roads constructed during World War II, when Diamond Head served as coastal defense observation post. The summit provides comprehensive views that explain why this location functioned effectively as both ancient navigation aid and modern military surveillance facility. From this beacon that guided humanity's greatest navigators across the world's largest ocean, we conclude our journey at a place where natural forces continue creating beauty from the eternal cycle of destruction and renewal. Akaka Falls plunges 442 feet in a single uninterrupted drop, representing the final movement in water's eternal journey from atmospheric vapor to oceanic return. This waterfall, fed by rainforests that capture moisture directly from passing clouds, demonstrates how Hawaiian landscapes continue their creative processes through cycles that began millions of years ago. Hawaiian legend transforms this natural phenomenon into a story of redemption. Chief Akaka, discovering his divided loyalties between two women, leaped from these cliffs in shame. The gods, recognizing his genuine remorse, transformed him into this eternal waterfall, forever cleansing sorrow through the creation of beauty. Kolokoli Stream, which feeds Akaka Falls, drains 25 square miles of tropical rainforest, receiving over 200 inches of annual rainfall. This watershed collects sufficient water to supply a moderate-sized city, yet channels this resource into creating one of the Pacific's most spectacular natural displays. From this final wonder, where water completes its endless journey from sky to sea, we discover that Hawaii's greatest revelation transcends any single marvel. These islands exist as Earth's supreme demonstration that paradise emerges not from perfection, but from perpetual transformation. 17 distinct wonders, yet each note in a single composition written by forces that began their masterpiece 70 million years ago. Volcanic fires that birth new worlds, while ancient crystals preserve Earth's deepest memories. Sacred summits where tropical islands intercept cosmic phenomena, while ocean waves sculpt liquid architecture that challenges human courage. Here, geological violence learns to create beauty. Isolation breeds innovation rather than stagnation. Ancient wisdom guides contemporary dreams toward futures where technology serves natural harmony rather than conquering it. Where legal systems prioritize redemption over retribution. Where immigrants, both plant and human, contribute new music to existing symphonies rather than drowning out indigenous voices. The Hawaiian archipelago demonstrates what becomes possible when creation refuses to remain static, when paradise accepts continuous evolution as the price of remaining extraordinary. Every sunrise breaking over Haleakala's crater rim illuminates landscapes impossible anywhere else on Earth. Every pipeline wave demonstrates ocean power channeled through geological precision into rideable art. Every grain of olivine sand carries messages from depths no human will ever visit. Every whisper of trade wind through bamboo groves composes music that immigrant species learn to perform in harmony with indigenous creation. From space, these 17 wonders merge into a single truth, written in fire and stone across the world's largest ocean. Hawaii exists as Earth's ongoing reminder that paradise emerges not from completion, but from courage. The courage to continue creating beauty from chaos, harmony from isolation, innovation from ancient wisdom, and hope from the eternal dance between destruction and renewal. This eternal dance continues with every breath of trade wind, every formation of new land, every navigation by ancient stars, every moment when fire meets paradise in the perpetual creation of wonder. E malama pono ika aina, care properly for the land. Traditional Hawaiian wisdom.